Guys, Hurricane Milton is about to do some crazy damage in Florida. We need to send all prayers to Hurricane Milton, all prayers to Florida, Tampa. That, you know what I'm saying? That whole, like, it's about to do some damage, chat. It's about to do some serious damage. And it's crazy because we already know, like, the funding to take care of it, they don't have already. They already said this. They don't have it. Just had a hurricane, just, you know what I'm saying, just weeks, days ago. So it's crazy. Like, they still recovering from the last one they just had. So, yeah, I do mostly some money channel. I get that for the most part in Kerbin. But yeah, on this live, I figured, you know what I'm saying, we're going to show love where we need to show love. Okay. Show love where we need to show love. Okay. So we're sending all prayers, okay, to Florida, sending all prayers to Florida, right? Because that's gonna be that's gonna be crazy. Okay, so we're gonna do just, you know what I'm saying, check it out, see what it's looking like, and go from there. Look at that. Chat, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's about to get crazy. It's about to get crazy. About 12, 1, 2 around there.
A massive hurricane is hurtling towards Tampa Bay, set to make landfall overnight. The forecast warns of a...
This morning, the race to get out before explosively powerful Hurricane Milton comes in. Milton, still more than 500 miles southwest of Tampa, now a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 155 miles per hour.
This is the storm of the century.
Listen to what he just said. This is the storm of the century. This is the storm of the century? Whoa. Whoa.
Mass evacuations ordered, prompting bumper-to-bumper traffic on highways out of town, as the strongest hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico in nearly 2 decades takes aim at the Sunshine State.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of cars.
Rianne Ramirez and her family of 4 driving 8...
Chat, think about the people that had to get gas, bro. Because, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of gas stations that ran out of gas. Maybe them, and some people probably didn't even have the funds to re-up on gas. Think about this craziness, okay? Like, it's already crazy before the storm even hits. This is just, it's bonkers. It's bonkers. Send prayers, but we can't stop at sending prayers, right? We gotta, you know what I'm saying, pull together, because this is one of the, again, he just said it, storm of the century. Ain't nobody on this live ever seen a storm like this. Fact.
Hours to leave Florida, double the time it would normally take.
It is bumper to bumper to the point where we were standstill, not moving for an hour at a time.
Hurricane hunters flying into the storm to collect critical data. Milton is expected to be knocked down by some wind shear before making landfall late Wednesday into early Thursday, but this storm surge could still be unprecedented. Tampa Bay to Sarasota to Venice could see 10 to 15 feet of ocean water pushing onto land, prompting...
I hope you guys understand what that means. Like, you gotta think, I'm 5'9". So, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about 15, like that's the whole first floor. Gone. You feel me? There's no electricity. There's no, like, getting food. There's no going to the store. That's it.
The largest evacuations in years.
I'm going to go door to door myself and make the plea over the next 24 hours to get as many people as possible to leave.
But those...
You remember Lieutenant Dan, the guy who's gone viral, who's in this sailboat.
Chad, this guy is called Lieutenant Dan. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Forrest. Run, Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie, but Lieutenant Dan is a character in that movie, and he has one leg and he's on a boat. This guy right here is the same guy. He has one leg. He's not the same guy, but he has one leg, and this is all he has. And he's staying on this boat.
He's still here, Nicole.
Everybody's worried about you. Who's worried about you? It's all over TikTok.
There he is.
I'm gonna go live in a minute.
The mayor in her press conference said that they came and got him and took him to a shelter, but it's like so weird.
He said he's going live in a minute. He's going live.
You said that because he is still in the boat. I mean, I just saw his hand sticking out like a couple minutes before this live shot.
I have a secure anchor point. I'm tied to the boat. If the tide goes up, I go up. As long as the water stays out of the boat, I'll be fine. And I'm the black sheep. I'm the one that does what I feel is right. And I don't care what anybody says or wants to do about it. I do what I think is right.
My God.
It's 9 a.m. here in Tampa, and shit is looking dicey to start. Okay, I decided not to evacuate.
Look at this. Listen, it's not even started. It's not even started. Four hours ago, chat. 4 hours ago. These are tornadoes that's going towards Florida before the hurricane hits. Think about this. It's like a quadruple whammy. Oh my God. Oh my God, look at that wind. Oh. Chad, this is about 4 hours ago too. Understand this. This is crazy. I said run, Forrest, run. Forrest Gump. That's what it is. My bad. Forrest Gump. Shout out to James. I appreciate it. Sending prayers. Sending prayers.
Hurricane Milton update. 2 p.m. where we're at right now. The news is saying that
In this ABC News virtual view, we can see that in the center of the hurricane, as pressure falls, water levels rise. All that water piling up while it's still over the open ocean. As a hurricane closes in on land, the strong winds push that water toward the coast, and it has nowhere left to go but up and inland. This is what it might look like inside a home taking on storm surge.
Watch
the water
this.
approaching quickly
This
and
is going to be
viciously,
every home.
entering your home and quickly climbing. And when storm surge combines with high tide, the rapid rise in water will move a home. Something I watched with my own eyes in Hurricane Michael in 2018.
I just saw something I have never seen in real life. I saw an entire home taken off of its foundation and rolled down the street.
In this ABC News virtual view,
What it will actually look like in Tampa. At 3 feet above normally dry ground, water is already life-threatening. It's too late to evacuate. Water this high can knock you off your feet, make cars float, and driving impossible. The first floor of homes and businesses are flooded. Unfortunately, the water is expected to rise even higher at 6 feet above the height of most people. Vehicles get carried away, structures start to fail. Just look at this. Anything could be in this water, sharp glass, debris, chemicals as well. The scary part is some areas could see surge values at 10 to 15 feet. And this takes us up to 9, and look what it does. At this level, the first floors of structures are completely flooded, and there are few places that it is safe when the water rises this high. We want everyone to know their evacuation zone, listen to local officials, and evacuate when ordered to do so. And Jordan, you made a great point last time. This is not just a calm water. You're going to have waves, even whitecaps, on the surge inland.
It's going to be nasty. You could, trying to think that you could walk in it. Please do not think that, all right? This thing will carry you away, especially when we've got the forecast that could go up to 15 feet that Steph talked about.
It will. Sorry, I didn't realize the crying of tears would already start.
That's the tornado. That's literally it. Holy shit, that's totally it. Oh my god, that's it. Alright, we need to back up off this window. We're in for another hurricane. I brought the monster truck to the house in case the flood warning is what they say.
Alright, we're back at the same balcony I was on before. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the east coast of Florida, the tide is very high. It's not going back out anytime soon, and we're only on the east side of it. It's not even over to us yet. It's not supposed to be here until later on AM hours Thursday. Wednesday, 2 p.m. May God have mercy.
Watch this, the storm, just like Helene, is filling up the entire Gulf of Mexico. This storm is bigger. All right, look at the stats right now. And this is stuff that just came in. It not only is it a category 5, went from a 1 to a 5 in a matter of hours, it just got stronger. Winds are blowing right now at 180 miles per hour. The strong...
All right, guys. It's starting to blow pretty good. Yeah, so basically all the wind's coming down through here. The water's really high, as you can see. Splashing up here. It's almost on top of the seawall now. It's getting up there to the bridge. Still got everything sandbagged up. But once the water gets over, I mean, the sandbags will stop some of the waves. But hopefully the glass and everything holds. Yeah, it's blowing pretty good. And there's lots of tornadoes all around us. We haven't had one here yet. And we're praying that we don't have one. So, our wind barometer right here is doing pretty good. Hopefully, once we reach 100 miles an hour, it stays here. So
here checking on our cows, and right there there's a huge tornado. We just got everything secured.
So this is the video I was hoping I wasn't going to have to make. As of about 35 minutes ago, I had lost contact with my family. They are located in Palm Harbor, Florida, 4.5 miles off of the coast, off of the beach. They were unable to successfully evacuate, and they are sheltering in place. Their house has a...
Images of tornadoes coming into our newsroom now. As you heard our Fox Weather Center reporting a short time ago, Hurricane Milton is spawning these tornadoes all over Florida. At first they were spurring warnings of tornadoes. Now we have confirmed sightings of them. Clewiston, Florida, that's basically, John, right between, it's the middle of Florida between Fort Myers and West Palm Beach.
I think you're going to see a lot of regret for those who didn't evacuate. okay, especially from about Pasco County, which is north of Tampa, all the way down toward Fort Myers Beach. This will be a life-changing and a beach-changing hurricane with the kind of storm surge that we're expecting. That is the biggest threat to the loss of life for those that did not evacuate as they were told to do so. Let's time this out for you. Now, again, as I show you this is one model and one run of it. It, to me, seems a little bit fast. So this thing could come in anywhere, let's say, from 9 all the way to about 1 a.m. in the morning, or maybe midnight. Okay, so there's a little wiggle room as to when it comes in. But I want you to look at the wind in Tampa, in Clearwater, in Sarasota, in Port Charlotte. We've got wiggle room, whether this goes to the north of Tampa or to the south of Tampa. You're still going to have some issues. And then this eye goes right across the state. It's going to be twice as big as it is right now. Maybe 3 times as big, depending on what happens after this eye wall replacement cycle. And we're talking about damage, flooding, obviously storm surge on the west side, and then the east side. That will get enhanced once the storm goes offshore tomorrow morning. We'll still have parts of the western eye wall on the east coast of Florida. So this is going to be a devastating hurricane, probably the worst hit that we've seen, certainly on the west coast of Florida in over a century. So, Vlad, I hope everybody heeded those warnings, especially in the surge zone, because it's coming in at night. Yeah, you're not going to know what hit you, I'm telling you. Back to you.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about why Tampa is so vulnerable to that storm surge. Jim Cantore for us this morning. Jim, thank you very much.
I think you're going to see a lot of regret for those who didn't evacuate. Okay, especially from about Pasco County, which is north of Tampa, all the way down toward Fort Myers Beach. This will be a life-changing and a beach-changing.
I knew it was bad when someone I know.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is calling for evacuation to level A through C. You are in a level A area. Sarasota County has issued an evacuation for your area. To schedule transportation to an evacuation center, call 311. We are expecting severe storm surge, which could exceed 16 feet. You must evacuate now.
They're evacuating a bunch of nursing homes. They're sending them to hospitals.
Walt Disney World is preparing for Hurricane Milton. As the storm approaches, efforts are being made across the parks to secure everything and minimize damage. Lanterns have been covered and tied down if they swing. Flags from flagpoles and banners have been removed. Hanging signs have been tied up and secured.
Okay, we might be cooked. The hurricane isn't even in Florida yet, and my trees are shaking, man! Oh my God!
Really important update if you're in Tampa. This comment's correct. It did just wobble north. Usually these things wobble to the east, but even Dennis Phillips on his weather page said just now it wobbled north. Here's where Milton is as of 5 p.m. Here's where it will be at 2 a.m. tomorrow, guys. This means it's speeding up because remember, it's supposed to make landfall around 1 to 2 a.m. So just north of Sarasota, which means Bradenton seems to be the likely path for the eye wall to hit. And guys, this is so close to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's still in the cone. It could still continue to shift north. I'll zoom out and just show you how much this storm is actually covering right now. The peak surge, wherever it does hit, still in the 9 to 13 feet range. Like I told you, I'm going to keep you posted, but we're Category 3. We're 125 miles an hour as of right now, 5 p.m. update. That can change, of course, and our weather right here in Central Florida is about to get worse. Of course, for us, it's going to be all overnight. It always is. I'm sure I'm going to be up watching this thing until our power goes out. Hopefully it doesn't, but you may see me on here a lot tonight giving these updates, and you may even see me live, maybe even at 2 a.m. Who knows? Hit that follow. Like I said, in my area.
As part of those fans.
We're staying. We're not evacuating. The highways all the way up through Florida are packed, and we are putting up our hurricane shutter.
I went to the store this morning. Charlotte Harbor is hunkering down once again. We do have gas and the generator for when we lose power, and I know you love.
By the time that you're watching this, what's been described as the storm of the century is either about to hit the coast of...
Again, he said it. A storm of the century. The storm of the century. That sounds so bad, because that comes the storm of the century. I mean, it's gonna come with a lot of lives. Dang.
Florida, or it's already too late, because Hurricane Milton is projected to make landfall late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning, by which time it's expected to have doubled in size, with winds, as I'm recording, hitting 160 miles.
Look at that. Look at that. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of water right there.
This is the dumbest thing I've done yet. Already, bro? This is probably the dumbest decision I've done yet. It's really wet. It's already all flooded and the hurricane isn't even here yet. I'm so gonna die. 4 hours till it's even here. Look outside, bro. Oh my gosh. I probably should have evacuated.
The boys are currently on Bayshore right now. We are live on...
Seeing, like, the president talk about how this is a once-in-a-lifetime storm, I'm like, oh, man. Okay. So where I live, I am directly on the riverfront. I am standing in front of my windows right now, and I would say maybe, I don't know, 200 feet away is the Hillsborough River. I was here during Helene. I decided to wait that one out. And I watched the water rise, but it only came up on the river walk. And now I am not feeling so confident in my decision.
Yeah, what is your biggest concern right now?
Truthfully, it's the fact that I'm from Denver, Colorado. I just moved here 4 months ago, and I have never been through this.
So are you thinking about potentially trying to get to one of the shelters?
Truthfully, no. And the reason I say no is because I've got 2 dogs with me. I've got my mom here. And the only sense of community I have here in Florida are the people that live in my building too, and they're all hunkering in together.
Taking a look at the track forecast for the storm, as I mentioned, it looks like the landfall point is going to be the south of Tampa. It might be close to areas such as Sarasota or even Venice. It is expected to come on land as either a Category 4 or very strong Category 3 hurricane. The storm maintaining hurricane strength as it crosses the state of Florida and exits over the Atlantic. Note, though, that in the extended forecast for the track of this storm, there is no sharp northward turn for it. So we are free and clear of any risk here in Canada. Now, I'm talking about the maritime provinces and Atlantic Canada. Let's take a closer look, though, at the hazards that the state of Florida is going to be facing, including winds. So the strongest of the winds are going to be right around or just to the south of the landfall point. So again, looking like areas down towards Venice or potentially just to the south. That's where there's the highest chance of seeing a period of gusts over 200 kilometers per hour. But there are going to be tropical storm force gusts, hurricane force gusts in a much larger area, the state of Florida, even as it crosses and exits back out over the Atlantic. And that means that they're looking at widespread damage to utility infrastructure and tree and branch fall. Water hazards, since the landfall point looks like it's going to be shifting to the south of Tampa, the overall storm surge potential has actually been lowered a little bit around that area. Still very dangerous storm surge, still a high storm surge, but lower than the past couple of days. It has, however, risen to areas further towards the south, including around Venice, Port Charlotte, and even down down to areas just north of Fort Myers, those coastal locations. That's where there is the best chance of maybe seeing some storm surge levels come up between 8 and 15 feet. Mentioned the heavy rain. It is still looking like that area of heaviest rain, or at least most widespread heavy rain, Tampa to Orlando, and then areas just to the north, highlighted here in through the pinks and the whites. And a lot of rainfall amounts could total between 100 and 300 millimeters, but local amounts for specific communities could be as high as 400 to 450.
Hurricane Milton exploded in strength today with winds topping 180 miles per hour. It is now expected to make landfall late Wednesday or early Thursday. Check out this ominous view of Milton today from the International Space Station. Forecasters say if it stays on its current track, this will be the worst storm to hit the Tampa area in more than a century. Now, Florida's governor declared an emergency for much of the state, warning residents, especially those vulnerable to its potential 15-foot surge of seawater, to evacuate as soon as possible. Look at this. The roads already jammed. Now, all this as many Floridians are still recovering from the impact of Hurricane Helene just 11 days ago. We'll get to the news storm track in a moment, but we begin with CBS's Tom Hansen in Tampa. Good evening, Tom.
Hey there, Nora. Good evening to you. Well, talking about that storm surge that you mentioned, if that were to hit right where I'm standing, I would be well underwater. And take a look at Tampa from above. You can see that the city is surrounded by inlets just like this one. Once the storm hits, all of that water has to go somewhere. As Milton menaces Florida, millions are under mandatory evacuation orders.
This is the storm of the century.
Now the west coast of Florida is bracing for another life-threatening storm just 11 days after Helene. It's expected to make landfall in Tampa, and nearly half the city is being told to get out.
I can't put my officers' lives in danger to come out for somebody that didn't evacuate in the peak of the storm surge. So take the heat and evacuate now.
With a state of emergency declared in 51 counties, residents are once again assembling their emergency kits and gathering supplies, waiting in long lines for sandbagging and even longer lines for gas. CBS News was at Tampa General Hospital, the only level 1 trauma center in the area, as this wall was installed before Hurricane Helene. That barrier protected the hospital from 4 feet of flooding, but Milton could bring up to 15 feet.
We have layers of protections that we're going through, but it's still a little bit nerve-wracking to prepare for something like this with the current projection.
I'm Christian Benavides in North Reddington Beach, a barrier island community where debris from Hurricane Helene still lines the street. Here, they're going from cleaning up to bracing for impact. Across Pinellas County, communities are getting ready. In this St. Petersburg neighborhood, more than 80% of homes were flooded by Helene's historic storm surge. What does your neighborhood look like right now?
It looks like a war zone. I mean, it's really sad. People have lost everything. You can see their memories sitting on the side of the road, and it's decimated.
Officials are worried debris, loose pieces of wood and metal, could clog storm drains and turn into dangerous projectiles when Milton makes landfall. Here in North Reddington Beach, entire homes were engulfed by the ocean during Hurricane Helene. Now residents like John Davis are worried about what's next.
Well, I hope it's not going to directly hit here. That's my hope.
But if it does?
If it does, I think it's going to have devastating effects.
Not long ago, we heard sirens going off, meaning that everyone here needs to get out now. We are under a hurricane warning, a storm surge warning, and here under a mandatory evacuation order. Nora?
Christian.
Water's getting bad, chat. Water's getting bad. Literally, that whole part of Florida is gonna be just like erased. Look at the cars. All the cars gonna be messed up. Look at that. Everybody like. So this is the cruise while the hurricane is going on.
Saludos a todos, espero que se encuentren.
Man, Tim back at it for the 5 p.m. update. We're in a little band pass right now, so there's not too much rain, but the wind is.
This is what's actually going to happen when this hurricane hits me. And
I'm gonna go live and see what they got going on over there.
For nothing, guys. Oh wow, look at that. This is scary. Now make sure y'all follow. I'm in Tampa. I don't have anywhere to go. People keep saying go somewhere. Where am I gonna go? Thank you, Brett. Thank you. It's flooded. Thank you, Brett, for the dolphin, because I know how to swim, guys. Never comes to that. I do know how to swim. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you all. Thank you, Roll. Thank you, Arthur. Someone's on board. I appreciate you.
So we. Yeah, Vero Beach is going to get some sustained hurricane force winds, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge, guys. Oh, look, guys, look at these palm trees. Look at these palm trees bending now. They're entering the outer eye wall likely very soon. Let me see if I can move this slightly so you guys can see. Look at this. These winds are really, really picking up. Marissa, I'm gonna bring in Amanda real quick just so I can see this. Just so I can see, she's actually south. Yeehaw. She's actually south of Marissa, and she's probably a little bit farther in the
Scared of the wind and the trees breaking my house. Oh Lord.
Darn. And go on the record to say that this is a historic tornado outbreak today in Florida from a tropical cyclone. But to answer your question, the threat has gone down. We have no tornado warnings right now. What we saw earlier was these were discrete supercells that were forming out here. A discrete supercell does not have to compete with basically a big congealed mess of storms like what we're seeing now. So anytime a supercell remains discrete, it basically takes all that warm Gulf water or that warm Gulf air. It takes the other, divergence in the atmosphere. It takes, the updraft, all the other ingredients that's needed to create a big tornado, which we saw several today. It takes and exploits that environment by itself without having to share the environment with other storms like what we see, with a big condensed mess like a hurricane. The tornado threat's going to continue to dwindle as we go into the night. It's not zero, but it's getting closer to near zero threat. We saw one of the craziest tornado outbreaks I've ever seen associated with a tropical cyclone today in Florida. Crazy stuff. Tornado threat will continue to go down, though. That is natural. The environment's becoming stabilized, not conducive to tornadoes. We could see some water spouts forming out here. So that's what this is right here. A lot of these purple boxes offshore are special weather statements.
These are all likely water spouts, which could move inland as this does make its way further inland. The hurricane makes its way inland. A lot of that spin is going to be coming back inland. Could bring some water spouts inland, but as far as like a traditional, really aggressive supercell tornado, we're not going to see that much anymore.
Last hurricanes, they canceled our insurance, and we couldn't afford a roof. We could not afford a roof, so we had to sell the house, and we bought a camper. We're in the middle of buying a house. We've already supposed to close 3 or 4 times and haven't. We were actually supposed to close Monday, but I hear a train horn in the background there. You can hear it for miles where we're at. The interstate is literally right over there, the I-75 in Sarasota. I think we're 11 minutes. Perfect weather go camping. I don't think I'm gonna have a camper to go home to. I honestly don't think I'll have a camper to go home to. I mean, it don't look like much like out front here, but the wind is howling. Tornadoes, a lot of tornadoes.
Cookies, thanks for the roses too, thank you. This is a Winter Haven.
DJ, thank you. Is it cold? No, Japan, it's not cold.
Right side of the storm here, while this left side's going on, I mean, we're still seeing, upwards of 105 mile per hour. This is inland, east of the bay, 10 p.m., 105. So over here is our second round, basically, on the left. And this is 10 p.m., and then this is 11:12. So, I mean, look at Clearwater. Over, just as a point, 9 p.m., 98, 104, 105, 100, 97. That's like near 4 or 5 hours of near or over 100 mile per hour wind gusts. That's pretty crazy. People are saying we have a Discord server. It's the link in my bio. Someone said, I just seen a dude on a kayak in Florida in a neighborhood. That is insane. I see another TikTok live, someone in Tampa. Here's what the water looks like. Wow. I mean, it is up over the fences. Not up over the fences, but definitely starting to get up there. Not sure where this person.
Meaning stop. Yeah. Can you see what that time? So that's over that seawall.
Go to Minnesota. We went to high school together.
With land, that's when you can see the eye of the storm kind of wibble and wobble a little bit, and that's what we started to see. So I'll go back a couple graphics and show you that again, Lindsay, where we're monitoring the eye at this moment. We likely saw with this storm, as Ginger was saying, it slanted a little bit. So you might see areas of development in one part of the storm than others that can allow for the eye to really tighten up and then move slightly north. So this is not the first time we've seen something happen with a storm like this as well, where the eye started to make a jog north, south, east, west ahead of landfall. But in this case, to your point, Lindsay, that's bad news for Tampa Bay, because any jog north is going to potentially send more of a surge into Tampa Bay than areas farther south, and that's what we started to see within the past 2 hours. So Tampa Bay is going to likely see one of the worst surge events it's seen probably in decades, but then also Bradenton looks like that might be ground zero between Bradenton and Sarasota for landfall potentially within the next hour.
All right, Elise Smith, our thanks to you, and of course we're going to keep checking back with you. Our next guest is Kiva Williams in Wesley Chapel.
You guys can get some reports what's happening.
Appreciate it. That means a lot. Really, really does.
I would not. If you have a basement, definitely do not.
The spinning wheel here too.
Oh my!
Love those, Liz.
Lindy. There's a lot of them. I don't know what to do.
We'll go with a faster loop speed. What do you think? Faster loop speed like that? Or do you guys like it with it sitting around this point kind of? Do we prefer kind of that interval right there? I am not streaming anybody. If somebody's streaming live in a storm and they're sitting by a window or something like that, it's not worth that, man. People that stream during like these events, all they do is they put people's lives at risk. They're not worth viewing. They put first responders and other people's lives at risk doing.
Live with Share 27.
That is definitely happening. If I do your city, I'll add.
Like it, I guess is what's it.
I'm asking for any money.
I would really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 9,000 followers. You guys can make that happen.
Archery.
But yeah.
Even getting a little bit more than I think they anticipated we were going to get. What? You all right? Yeah. Mommy's okay. I'm coming in like 5 minutes.
For a minute there.
She's like, okay. Oh, the freezer open. My father.
Some pretty hefty stuff too. Winds, high winds. Jagger, you're very welcome. Present direction is east-northeast, 60 degrees. Thank you, T21. Appreciate you. East-northeast. It was moving northeast. Now it's moving east-northeast, more east than north. It's moving more east than north, so probably right over the Sarasota area.
And for those who don't make their product in America, they will be forced to pay a rather stiff tariff for the privilege of competing with our cherished companies that we're going to take care of, and for the privilege of stealing our jobs, our treasure.
See out the window.
Our coverage in Tampa, as we again know that this hurricane is imminently making landfall. What you're looking at right now on your screen is a shot out of Sarasota, Florida, which is was one of those places where the storm is expected to come on shore. You can really see the wind and the rain and those conditions quickly deteriorating. If you're there in Florida and you're in the way of this hurricane, you should be sheltering in place at this point, as so many areas all across the area are across the state are bracing for this impact. Again, we do want to keep here with our coverage there, again, focusing on Southwest Florida as we are continuing to talk to other officials as well in the state. I do want to bring into the program now Sheriff Kevin Ramboff. He's there with the call.
I need to get
There was like that, not one bit. Dude, my hair keeps on getting stuck to my face.
I swear I saw it too. Or maybe it was hurricane and typhoon are the same things. I don't remember.
No, typhoons are similar to tsunamis, I thought.
Tsunami's a giant wave, I thought.
Tsunamis are caused from earthquakes. Yeah, I know, but...
Be safe, thank you. Thanks, Kenny. Makes a difference, but flooding's still bad. Yeah, especially along